All right. Well, Robin, first of all, welcome to Judson University. As we started the conversation about the partnership 2 years ago, I imagined this time of bringing you here and just imagining how awesome it would feel and how awesome it will be to introduce you to our students, to our faculty, to our staff. So welcome. We're so
Good to
glad
be
to
here.
hear.
Good to be here.
We were, as I was thinking about this interview, I was imagining myself being Robin Kroll and thinking about what must that feel like being a founder of such a STEAM institution such as Dark Horse Recording or Dark Horse Recording Institute, and I wondered what does that feel like? Tell us what excites you about your job.
Well, the thing that I love most about the school, which is Dark Horse Institute, is that I feel like we are students first. And as I have now been in the school industry, I guess you'd call it the industry, for 11 years, I, to my dismay, have learned that so many schools, it's all about everything but the students. And that's why there's $1.5 trillion worth of student debt out there and students that are not equipped for the real world, plus they're in all that debt. So when we started Dark Horse Institute, it was our specific goal to make sure that we got courses that were to the point, no nonsense, street smart, that were going to equip people to be able to go out into the real world and thrive, and to do it affordably. A lot of times I would joke, especially in the early years, that we're trying to be Harvard and Walmart at the same time, because we want to be the absolute best we can be, and we also want to be the best not only that we can be, but the best in the country. But then we also want to be the most affordable.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's it's so to the point, this idea of being about student, because at Judson we students drive us. We always look at opportunities to give them best options, best opportunities. And that's
Sure.
why, for me, this partnership is so exciting because as we develop our curriculum, as we adjust our curriculum based on how the music industry is changing, I see this as a great opportunity for our students to supplement their already robust experience here at Judson and complement that with the institute. Where if you could talk to us just a little bit about the equipment, the mics, all of the things that you are able to provide to the students because of the partnership with the Dark Horse Recording Institute. How does that work?
Well, Dark Horse Institute was launched from Dark Horse Recording, and Dark Horse Recording, which we've now been in business for 28 years, has 4 world-class studios. And so we've been making platinum records and gold records over there for that entire time. And you cannot stay in business unless you have the best of everything, the best consoles, the best acoustics, the best pianos. I mean, we have 2 Yamaha C7 grand pianos that are record beautifully, and all those things we learned. If we did not have those in place in the right way, we would never survive as a studio. And so, by the time we started the school, we were about 17 or 18 years in as a recording facility, and we knew exactly what we needed to provide our students. And so then we built another series of studios 6 miles away at the Institute. And those studios have the same equipment. We have a $400,000 SSL console, 56-channel SSL 6000 that our students work on. So they're working on the same equipment that the biggest records in the world are made on. And that's how they're going to learn. And also when they then leave to go into the real world, it will take someone 5 minutes to realize, oh, these people are familiar with all this equipment that is the most important equipment to be learning on.
That is so exciting. So exciting. As we were thinking about this partnership, one of the things that appealed to me is this idea when I came down a couple of years ago, and when I saw the classrooms, when I saw the students and how engaged they were, and not only engaged with this state-of-the-art equipment in the institute, but also working with some of the best audio engineers in the industry. Can you tell us a little bit about your faculty and staff at Dark Horse Institute?
Well, all our teachers are working engineers. And so, as I like to say, you're learning not from teachers, but you're learning from engineers that are working in the real world. And you'll hear me say this over and over. I keep going back to the term real world. And everything we do is based on what it's going to take to go out and actually thrive in this industry. And so, for instance, Dave Hagen is our lead teacher, and he's been with me for 14 years. And last year he won a Grammy for mixing Keb Mo, which is a blues guitarist and singer. And many years ago, he started as an intern at Dark Horse Recording. And so he has become, to the degree that he is now being nominated and winning Grammys. And that's who the students can learn under.
Fantastic, just fantastic. It's so great to, I was looking at your website and the credits of all of your graduates that worked with just the cream of the crop of the music industry right now. Can you give me one specific example of a student that graduated from the institute and went on to work with one of the great artists?
Well, one of my favorite stories is a girl named Zoe Johnson, and she came and studied audio engineering when she was 19 years old. When she graduated from audio engineering, she then went into our music business program, which most of our students take both of those programs. And while she was doing that, she got a job for Rhino Staging downtown Nashville. And in Nashville, there's 3 staging companies, and it's barely show business. Like they would call you at 9:00 at night after a hockey game, and you're going to come down and you're going to fold 1,000 folding chairs and move staging around. But that led to her being asked to travel with Luke Bryan, which is carries his own staging. And so Luke Bryan, which is one of the biggest country road acts, I think he's drawing between 20 and 40,000 people a night at his events. She was on the staging crew because he carries his own staging. Well, the next time he went out, they then asked her to go out again, but this time she was on the audio team. So she was responsible for various aspects of the sound systems. Well, that led to her then going to Europe, and she traveled with Metallica for 3 years. 3 months. And then that led to her doing the spring and summer tour 2 years ago with Taylor Swift. And so by the time she was touring with Taylor, she was 21.
Wow.
And she had arguably toured with 3 of the biggest acts in the world that are, and one of the things I love to tell people is, maybe everybody doesn't want to tour, but let's just talk about touring for a second. It's non-genre specific. So the same people that are using a certain sound company or a certain staging company or a certain lighting company, one time it might be country, and the next time it might be contemporary Christian, and the next time it could be bluegrass, and then the next time it could be Metallica or Taylor Swift.
Right.
And so it's non-genre specific, and so you start learning that behind the scenes, it's all professional. It doesn't have to do with what you think those artists are like. Because everyone's got a certain stigma about hard rock or heavy metal,
right,
and a different stigma about bluegrass. But the fact is behind the scenes, it's all very similar, and professional is professional. And so our big thing is preparing our students to get out there and thrive and be able to. One thing I can tell you for sure, everyone at Dark Horse Institute, every student has a total passion for music. And so I know that their goal in life is one way or the other, they want to be making their living in part of this industry. So we're here to help them figure that out.
Fantastic. I love one of the quotes from the book that we're going to be presenting today, where you say that, if you work hard, and I'm paraphrasing, but when you work hard, you can carve out a spot for yourself in the music industry. I think it's so incredible. I would add that, having good education that leads to these kind of professional experiences prepares students even better for that.
Well, one of my favorite sayings is the greater the line of preparation, the more likely it is to intersect the line of opportunity.
Awesome.
And so, you've got to have a fire in the belly and you've got to have a great work ethic. And so when I go back to Zoe, she was someone that I did not expect would end up with that story. But the fact is she was obviously a hard worker, easy to get along with, and people enjoyed being around her. And that combined with the talent that she learned at Dark Horse Institute with the engineering and then the music business, that has now put her at a level where once you're stretched to a new level, you never return back to where you started. So in other words, now that she's experienced these large stadium tours, she's going to be doing things like this for the rest of her life. And maybe she'll end up in the studio, or maybe she'll end up in films and television. I mean, there's a lot of different things you can end up in besides just touring or in the recording studio like where we are right now.
Right. That brings me to my last question. One of the things that was very exciting to me when we had a conversation a couple of weeks ago was, first of all, it's so wonderful to see how the Institute continues to change, continues to revamp its curriculum, that it's a living curriculum. And I know you just started an online audio engineering program, and now you're thinking to go even farther. And this summer, you're thinking of starting a songwriting composition track. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, since the day that we started Dark Horse Institute, I have thought about how nice it would be to have a composition and songwriting program, simply because Nashville is the center of the songwriting universe, the best songwriters. And I have heard that there are 43,000 songwriters in Nashville alone that are members of some of the associations. There's that many people. That means they've all got home studios, and they're all writing songs every day, trying to get cuts on television and movies, and obviously on some of the other albums that, like a country album that might be released. And so I thought if we could do a course for composition and songwriting, we could provide the best course in the country, because we can get the greatest songwriters to help teach those courses. And so the students will be learning from people that have had #1 hits. They'll learn how they got them. They'll learn how they survived in the industry and learn to thrive in the industry. And so we'll be starting that program this coming fall.
That's fantastic. One thing you might not know, that each year we have this project that Tim May, our recording studio manager, leads, and that is a project called Best of Judson, where students actually do write songs for. So the best of those songs is featured then on a single CD that we produce each year. So I think there will be, I'm excited about, because of this project, and I know how much interest that always generates for Judson students. I'm so excited to hear that that will be an opportunity for our Judson students as well. Robin, it's been just a pleasure to chat with you again. We're so pleased to have you here on the campus, and so pleased for this partnership. So thank you so much for coming.
Robert, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.